Hi there. Welcome to the live. Let me pull that up on my screen here so I can follow along. There we go. Okay, looks like we are live. Everything's good. I think. All right. There we go. Welcome, guys. Good morning, Keisha. How you doing? Good to see you. I think I finally figured out how to get the live stream set up to do a horizontal feed, which was my big problem in the last couple weeks. So it looks like this original live stream that I set up is actually going to work for, I think, the first time. So if you managed to catch this short, we are working with this pumpkin washi this week. And I picked this one because it doesn't have brown. So I've had brown this last week in this kind of deserty summer theme. I had brown the week before. I'm just a little over the brown, but I still want to do kind of a fall theme. So we're going to do pumpkins. And this one has red in it instead of brown because it's got this floral pattern going on. So we will start with this cute washi. I know when I was looking for the washi, I wasn't sure if I got it on Amazon or AliExpress. It was AliExpress, so I did link it. But I do want to say I've had some trouble with shipping from them, and I kind of got in trouble with the post office. Um, the post office kind of yelled at me because I guess what AliExpress does is some of the sellers on there, and not this particular seller. I did not have that problem with the seller that I purchased this washi from. But some of the sellers will reuse shipping labels. And so when your product gets to you, even though you have paid for the shipping, you end up having to pay for the shipping again. Um, and it's illegal, but it's illegal in the US. And since most of the shippers are over in China, they can't do anything about it, the post office. And so they just end up yelling at you. And so you end up having to go down to the post office to get your package. Again, I have not had that problem, or I did not have that problem with the seller that I bought this from. But just a little caveat on buying from AliExpress, something to be aware of. So I like this because it's fallish, but it's also still got the summer elements with the flowers. So yeah, Keisha, it is a really cute tape. Things are going well on my end. Just trying to get through the week. It's going to be an interesting week. You'll see where I'm going with this as we get into the planning here. I am going to do things a little bit differently this coming week. I have a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of things that I need to have um, in the bulk of the day this time. So I think I'm going to do it differently than I normally do. I'm all about trying new things. So we're going to start with, I think we're going to start with this red. Oh, Keisha, you didn't miss the balloons. I missed the balloons. And so we went on Friday to go and try and get to the balloons, and we couldn't get within a mile of the park. It was so crowded. People were everywhere, and we couldn't even get close to the balloons. So I thought, well, that's okay. We'll just, we won't go to the glow on Friday night. We'll go see the race on Saturday instead. And it rained yesterday and they canceled the race because of the weather. So the race didn't happen and we didn't make it to the glow. So I'm going to have to put on my calendar that we're going to have to go really early next year to go see the balloons, um, just to make sure that we can get in and see them. Um, I was kind of sad for me. I really did kind of want to see them. Um, All right. Where was I going here? Let's see. We are going to start with red, and we're going to use red for, I have a lot of connections with friends this week. So, see, I think that was, one was 1 o'clock. Yep. Um, and I'm going to do it differently. So we're going to put one in here at 1. We're going to put one in here at 4. And one at 9. Yeah, being new to the area, we didn't realize that it was such a huge event. And a lot of what we have gone to in St. Louis has been really easy to get to, and we kind of got spoiled. I grew up in the Chicago area, and things were not that easy to get to in Chicago. So I feel like I probably should have known better. But I didn't. Yeah, today I'm gonna go down to the riverboats at the Arch for a book club. So that should be interesting. It's not a very photographic event. I don't have permission to film everybody else, so I probably won't film at it. Um, but I'm trying to think of somewhere I can take you guys this week. Since the balloon thing didn't work out, we're gonna figure out some place that we can go, and I can take you around, maybe just around Forest Park, because it's a really pretty place. We have this huge park that used to be part of the World's Fair, and maybe I can just take you guys around, and we'll look at Forest Park this week. Uh, Maybe without an event going on. I can practice without filming without an event. Uh, and Keisha, you are never too chatty. You can be as chatty as you want. I love it. So let's see. I'm going to talk to my friend Dana here, and I know she has an appointment there, so it won't be any longer than that. We're going to talk to Kim here, and this one is Valerie and Susie. Yeah, I had all of my camera gear in a backpack in my trunk, ready to go. I was all excited to use it, and I didn't get to use it. So, oh well. So instead of doing my big giant blocks, because I feel like it's going to be just too much color all over the place this week, I'm going to do little colored dots to just kind of indicate the type of event, and then um, a little line for how long that event I believe is going to take. Just again, I don't want it to be too crazy busy. And I know my partner's got a lot of things he wants to kind of watch this week, and so I don't want it to get too nuts. um, let's see. I'm gonna put our plan with me. I'm gonna do 9:30 again because I think we're gonna try and get to the Ren Fair this weekend. So let's see. I'm not sure if it will be on Sunday or not, but we'll put that plan with me in. But also by doing it this way, I don't have to have those big blocks figured out. One of the things that I noticed this week is that it is getting a little bit harder to find jobs to apply for, and having this really big block here is not really helping a lot. Because then I feel like I really need to be job searching there, and there aren't really just a lot of extra jobs to apply to. I already applied to everything that was open. And so um, I'm finding this to be not really effective right now in helping me with my day. I feel like I can't get in and write or do YouTube or anything during that block because I feel like I have to be doing that job search. And I want to take a little bit of that pressure off for this particular week. We'll get back to it probably next week. But on this one, let's see. We've got some silent book clubs, some book clubs in general, two silent and one regular, happening this next week. For some reason, I think all the book clubs like to happen um, the last week of the month, and I don't know why that is, but it is very, very distracting. Um, I think they're all 2 hours. So this one is a silent book club. Have you ever been to a silent book club? It is very fun. If you, are reading things that are different from what a typical, I know you mentioned on my readathon post that it is, um, er, you mentioned that you're not reading a lot of fiction, and so book clubs tend to read a lot of fiction. A silent book club, you can read whatever you want, and it is just really an excuse to get together with other people and take some time to read. Because a lot of times I feel like when we want to sit and read, we don't get that opportunity to just kind of sit down and read. So the silent book club, everybody kind of talks a little chattiness the first maybe half hour, and then everybody sits down and reads whatever they happen to have brought that they're reading quietly for the next hour and a half. And it is just really kind of nice. This one that I have on Thursday takes place at a coffee shop. And the other one is going to be in a sculpture garden, and so you just kind of get out and get a chance to connect with other people that like to read, but you don't have that pressure of having to read a particular book for a discussion. And so I actually really, really like the silent book clubs. I've now found two in the area, so I'm excited. Um, and this is one that there is a discussion on. This is the St. Louis Ladies Over 40. It's a mouthful. Book club. Us old gals have to stick together. Yeah, the silent book club is kind of a nice intro into a book club because you don't have that pressure of having to read what everybody else likes. You know, sometimes when you get into book clubs, everybody's reading things that you really would never pick up and read on your own. And sometimes that's a good thing because sometimes it encourages you to kind of get outside your box and read something a little bit different. But sometimes it can just feel very pressuring. And so, um, this having a silent book club means that you get to pick the book, and it is a global thing. So you can go to, I think it's silentbookclub.com, and find one that is close to you and go and attend. It's a neat thing. I'm taking a sip of coffee. All right, let's see. I have this little post-it. It's a sticker of a post-it note, which is the cutest thing. Um, that I'm going to put here on here on September 22nd. There are 100 days left in 2025. And I think that I am going to create a list of 100 15-minute tasks to accomplish my goal. So I think that that's going to be something I will put like in the back of the spread here, or as a spread, and see if I can take 15 minutes a day every day for the rest of the year to kind of accomplish some of my big goals. We'll see. But I thought this little, with the pumpkins and the green, again, I'm trying to stay away from brown this week, but that green is really cute. Um, I thought that was neat. Let's see. We're going to get out the gray pen because my partner has got some things that he is going to want to watch this week. And I need to mark those in. So from 2 to 5, I'm just going to do boxes for these because I can't really plan anything during these times. 2 to 5, and then 3 to 6. This is when his sports teams play on Sunday. So that just kind of will let me know. I'm going to write in lightly that this is Fever and this is the Colts. He loves his Indiana teams. Yeah, I like to kind of have a good challenge because it really does help me. It's amazing what you can do in little 15-minute spurts. And if I can do 100 of those to really kind of move the needle towards some of my goals, that will be awesome. It's hard to sometimes think about taking an hour or 2 hours or anything like that towards a goal, but if I can kind of get in that habit of 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, that will move the needle probably more than I could if I was trying to do it in a big giant block. All right, Friday. So the Fever is the Indiana women's basketball team, and they are in the playoffs right now. And so they're going to play several times this week. They are also playing on our date night, which I know we're not going to pause date night to watch, but we might have an early night on date night so that he can enjoy his game. All right, so those are the things I have to be aware of. And again, they're very, very faint because this gray marker is very faint. So I can see them, but they're not going to distract me from the things that I need to do or the places that I need to be this week. So speaking of date night, let's go ahead and put in a date night. Actually, I'm going to grab one more. We're going to go with a dark green. But I think that's a little too warm of a color. Let's go with a Although this is kind of a warm green here. Let's see what I've got in my book for greens. So this is that book that I swatch my washes in the back. And in the front, I have pen swatches so that I can kind of pick a good color. I'm thinking this color, this 346, is going to be nice. And I think this is it. Yep. Okay. So we will use that one for events that I'm going to with my partner this week. So date night. And I'm only going to put it to the beginning of this game. So even though we might stay out later, I'm just going to start with the arrow ending at the game, and we'll assume that we're going to do dinner and maybe a quick movie, or maybe just dinner and ice cream and a movie at the house. We'll see what we end up doing that for that. I'm going to put in, this is the autumnal equinox on Monday. And normally I use those stickers, but this time I think I'm just going to draw in my 7 days of the week. I know last week I used a sticker for this. We're going to kind of have a less stickers week. We'll do some. There we go. And we'll put in meals here. And I should put in my, I like to kind of show what I'm matching with these colors down here. Kind of helps me remember why I chose the colors that I chose. All right. So this was 346, 312. I think this is 925. I'm going to look at my description because I did write the Tombow colors I'm using in the description. It is 925. The peach is 873, and the red is 856. I know everybody's always looking for colors to match different washi, and so I try and write them down so that the next time I use this washi, I have a nice record of what colors I used, and that way it makes it easier for me if I want to use the same ones, or, you know, at least I have a starting point if I want to use a couple. Yeah, I will definitely check out those dashboard layouts on the vertical spreads because that sounds really like a neat thing. Um, and I'll let you know. I am going to put some tasks here on the beginning of the days. So for most of them, I'm going to start up here. So I'm going to put job search as a task. And the nice part about doing this thing with the dots is I can check these off when I have finished them. So I know I want to have some time that I spend job searching. I just don't want it to be a big block of time. So by putting it up here, it's on my calendar, so I know it's something that I need to, plan some time for. It's not just a regular task on my task list. And I can move it down into here somewhere as I find I need it. So that'll be helpful. I do also, I'm going to do this one in red. Because it's YouTube. So I'm going to do a YouTube video every day again. I've been liking this everyday filming. I might not always, but for right now, I'm going to. It allows me to talk about all the different things I want to do, and I'm trying to indicate with thumbnails. Hopefully, I'm doing a good job of indicating pretty quickly with thumbnails what type of content you're going to see. So whether it's a planning content or focusing on YouTube, how it's going with YouTube. Because I'm liking having the kind of different topics. But I do want to get into trying to do a vlog and editing. I think a vlog is going to require a bit of editing, and I haven't been doing that with my current content. I do really like the daily posting. It has been keeping me anchored. Um, Excellent. I love that I get to keep you company while you exercise. That's awesome. Um, I I thought that the daily content would be a lot to do, and would be really challenging. And if I was still working every day, it might be getting to be a bit much. But because I have this block of time off, I'm actually finding it kind of anchoring my day a little bit more. And I really do like that. Um, that's been very helpful. I don't have to have one on Sunday because I have the plan with me. However, I'm going to put another one over here to set up the plan with me. Because I do like having the description all written and ready to go so that I can vlog on and start filming, and you guys already have the information for things like the markers that I'm using and the washi that I'm using. And if you're interested in those, you can um, see them ahead of time. So I think that is going to be the bulk of my week for this week. I'm kind of liking this more sparse layout, but I'm thinking that I might want a little pumpkin design in through here. So I'm going to get out my stickers and we're going to look for a little pumpkin. I don't want to go too Halloweeny yet because I do tend to go kind of over the top Halloween uh, for the whole month of October. But I have this set of stickers that I got from Amazon a little while back. And I think maybe we can find something in here that would coordinate. That's kind of cool, but it's got brown. We're trying to not do brown, at least for 1 week. Um, there are a lot of book clubs this week, so I could go with something like this. But again, we got a little bit, it's kind of an orangey brown, so we'll maybe that one. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with that one to kind of, there we go, that one. We will just stick this here in this corner because it is really book club week. I think that'll look good color-wise with the rest of it. And I think that is probably all I'm going to do for this particular spread. We're going to keep it very open. So now because there's all this blank space, I know blank space in journals tends to scare people a lot. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I'm going to do in here. I will probably add in what I'm doing throughout the week. So as I sit down, say on Monday, I will maybe write in some of the things that I'm doing. I might write a little list for myself. I'm going to try and do some writing this week so that I may have some little writing blocks in here. So I may add those in, or I may just do them. And if I end up having a spread that looks kind of like this, I will find some nice quotes or things that I like. And I will maybe throw in some quotes in these empty spaces and just kind of give it more of a decorative look so that when I come back and look at it, it has that kind of decorative look to it, like something like this. I don't need the reminder to go outside and have coffee and read every morning. I do that now. So I don't need those kind of reminders anymore. So I think this is kind of what I'm going to leave it like. That gives me a lot of time and room to kind of fit in all of those things that I want to get done this week. So the last thing I'm going to probably do with the weekly here is to add in my weather. Oh, I will definitely, I will definitely check my DMs. The kids like surprise things for Halloween. Excellent, excellent. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. I love Halloween. But I do tend to go a little much. Oh, you don't? Okay. um, yeah, I tend to go a little over the top during October. It's one of my favorite times. So I warning ahead of time that October will be fairly Halloweeny